questions. Thank you.
Dante, can you tell us what your process was for getting back into the NBA?
Yeah, I think, for me it's been a long journey. Obviously being in the NBA before and a lot of injuries. I felt like I've had the skill to be here, and but proving my being healthy is kind of been the problem. But I think going over to Europe, spending the last 2 seasons there, has helped me tremendously. Learning their game, how they play it, and just kind of the importance of valuing the ball, valuing possessions. So I wouldn't take it back in any sense, but I'm glad I was able to kind of fight my way back here. But I think it's just staying on court, staying healthy, and making sure every day I've been working on my game and the areas that haven't been a strong suit, and making that a strong suit now.
And why was Dallas the place for you to make that return?
Yeah, there was a few teams that was interested, but I think the Mavs provided a unique opportunity. I think definitely at the point guard of where I'm trying to play. Obviously them having Kyrie and Luka, it's a lot of minutes taken up, but I think where my strong suits are and kind of pushing the ball and being a fast, oversized, point guard, it's going to help me. So I think that's kind of like why I like the Mavs too.
You've had some very efficient perimeter shooting seasons the last couple of years in Europe. What has helped you to improve your jump shot, and what are your focuses entering this season to maintain that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me has just been the confidence. I've always said if I miss my first one, I'm gonna make the second one. If I miss my second one, I'm gonna make the third one. So that's just kind of the mindset I've had with my shooting. I felt like I've always had a good form and just wasn't confident. It was like, do I shoot it? Do I not? And obviously going over to Europe, provided me the opportunity just to be confident with it and shoot it, and that's what I did. And, I was able to shoot better.
What's this like for you to be able to play with Josh Green again?
Yeah, it's great. I think just seeing his growth as a player. When I was watching him on the Mavs, and then in the Australian team and what he's able to bring for us for the national team, and then even just these couple of days that we've been in training camp and just how he conducts himself and the steps that he takes to be a professional and be the guy that he is on court. It's amazing to see.
So you've been on both sides. What's the biggest difference between the NBA game and the European game?
I think the European is so set orientated, and we ran probably 100 offenses. So I think the NBA is a bit more free flowing and kind of get out. And I think one of the things the coaches said in one of the first days is we're looking for the best shot as quick as possible. And that's not the case in Europe. It's let's run a set, let's slow it down. A lot of teams play a lot slower and play out the clock and get the option at the end of the shot clock. So I think that's just the biggest difference.
What do you envision your role being on this team?
I think for me, I've always tried to be an energy guy. I want to bring that energy when I come in. I like to push the ball, play fast. The coaches talked about that a bit, this year, playing a bit faster and open court transition. That's where I'm going to try and excel the most. And just being I think my spot shot is at the best it's ever been at a point in my career. So I think that's, whether it's, playing on ball, pushing the ball, or, having to play off it and be ready to shoot, that's what I'm going to be able to do.
Obviously getting the opportunity to go back to Spain, I know Barcelona, but what it'll be like being on enemy territory with Luka.
Yeah, I told Luka, you had to take me back to Madrid. No, I think, I'm a professional about everything, and there's a couple guys on that team, on that Madrid team, and obviously what we went through the last time I was there. But no, I'm out there to go play basketball. I don't hold any grudges or anything, and I'm just want to go there and, you know, yeah, no, it's a weird thing. I thought I was obviously going to be done with playing in Europe, but no, I'm happy to go back to Madrid for one last time. God. I knew it was coming. I didn't know how I was going to answer it. But
Thank you.
You've only had a couple of practice days with Luka and Kyrie so far. What are your early impressions of playing like off of them when you share the floor?
yeah, well, I actually haven't been on the same team as them yet, but you know, I think, you know, one thing, you know, just I mean, obviously Kyrie's just amazing how he finishes and everything, and as a driver myself, that's something I want to get better at, just the finishes and seeing what he does in that. But I think Luka, you know, he's especially good in just playing slow. You know, once he gets in the paint and playing slow, using his size and you know, it's a slow step layup or it's a slow step to a corner or to the big. You know, him and Lively have just been, you know, eating it up with, you know, his ability to get in the paint and, you know, kind of confuse the big. So just kind of taking that and seeing what he does in that. And, you know, I think, you know, the height I have over some of the, you know, point guards, you know, it gives me the opportunity to do that as well.
A big summer to in your home country, obviously, with the hosting the World Cup and things like that. I know you were busy over the summer, but I was wondering if you had a chance to tune in, follow along, see how, you know, your women's national team was doing and stuff like that.
The women's national team?
Soccer.
Oh yeah, no, it was amazing. You know, I think, you know, just kind of what sports can do to a whole country. You know, we're not a big soccer nation, Australia, but I think once, you know, the men make World Cup and the women's make World Cup, you know, the whole country gets behind them. I was in Melbourne at the time, and in Federation Square, where it was just flares going off, and it was just a huge celebration. And they did, you know, obviously amazing, and I think it just showed the growth, not only for the sport of soccer, but for, you know, women's sport going forward.
You had this playoff series 5 years ago against the Rockets where you were the primary defender on James Harden. How do you feel about your defensive ability guarding the best of the best in the league now?
Yeah, you know, I think I like the challenge. I think for me, I've never backed down for a challenge, and you know, whether it's something I wasn't good at and I wanted to challenge myself to be good at, and I think that was something with my defending. I remember when I first came in the league, Dennis Lindsay, who's actually, you know, with the Mavs now, he said to me, "You're a horrible defender." So I took that, I took that to heart, and you know, that's something I'm going to focus on. And you know, I want to be the guy that, you know, if we walk on the court and there's a guy that's a dominant offensively, I want to be the guy. Yep, I'll go take him. And I think, you know, with my height and size, I'm able to, you know, kind of switch between 1 through 3, and, you know, hopefully, you know, provide, you know, a bit of a defensive coverage.
Did you have a relationship with Nico in his prior life with Nike? And if so, did that play any role in when you're looking around?
I had a little bit. No, obviously I met him, you know, when I was kind of choosing a shoe brand, but I obviously didn't go with them. So, you know, he didn't hold a grudge. But no, I didn't have too much of a relationship, but I was with Rob Pelinka at the time, who obviously, you know, with Kobe, and had a good relationship with Nico. Yeah, no, it didn't play too much of a part.
Dante, did Dennis Lindsay have part of the poll for you to come to Dallas?
No, it was, you know, obviously I think he was, you know, talking to a lot of the management, and they asked him questions about me, for sure. But, you know, I thought it was, you know, Dennis Lindsay, but, you know, it wasn't at all. But I think just being over in Europe, I think there's so many scouts and people watching the European game, and what I was able to do there was why I was able to get this opportunity. You know, I don't think it was because, you know, I had a relationship with anyone that I'm here. So.
Has your defense improved a lot since Dennis made that comment?
Yeah, no, just to go back to that, that's why, you know, when I was playing in that series against James Harden, you know, I think I was able to stop him, just to have the confidence to, you know, move my feet and, play a bit harder. I'm trying to. I feel like, the European game is, a lot physical, and, I'm going to gauge it as soon as I get in the court here and see how physical I can be. But I know a lot of the players are very smart in how they, draw fouls. So it's something I've got to be very careful about.
Your Australian national teammate, Josh Green, has mentioned that he'd like to take a bigger defensive presence this season with the Mavs. What are your thoughts on his progression defensively as you've had prior experience with him?
Yeah, I think, you can just take it from, this summer. I know he battled a bit of an ankle injury coming in. But, as soon as he kind of stepped onto the floor and, it changed us, dramatically. Like, he was picking up full court, just a dog on the ball. And I think, going forward, with the Australian team, that's just something that we're going to realize that, we have, Josh Green, we have me, we have, Thibault, that it's a 1-2-3 switch, and it's just going to be whoever's got the ball is just going to be under constant defensive pressure.
How important is this opportunity with the Mavericks to you, and what do you want MFFLs to know about you?
I think, this opportunity, it means, the world to me. I think, that just the path I've gone down, the experiences I've gone through, being in the league, being, a high draft pick, and then going over to Europe, it's tough. Not a lot of people come back. So I think for me, I want to come back and stay, show teams that I can be useful, that I can be a piece, going forward. And I've actually been wondering, and you can answer this for me, what is MFFL?
For life.
Okay. Yeah, no, but I think, for me and just talking to them, yeah, I've never had a good experience when I've came into the to the Mavs. I think I've gotten blown out a lot. No, I hope we can do that and a lot here. But I've loved the experience I've had every time I've come to Dallas. With the cheer squad and the drums. It's something they do in Europe a lot. So I love that, and they're loyal. So I love to hear stuff like that. I played for 2 loyal fan bases now over in Europe, and it's just amazing to see.
Thank you.
Outside of basketball, is there anything that you look forward to doing here in Dallas or exploring in the city?
Yeah, I haven't spent too much time in Texas. I was in Houston for a bit, but I think one of my friends is a huge JFK fanatic, so just kind of seeing that history. But I think just learning about the city and what makes it Dallas, because I see a lot of pride, and I decided this is finally the year I'm going to get into football. I've tried, but this is, what better state to be in than Dallas? And I'm trying to learn a bit more about football and kind of the tactics and what goes behind it. So, I'm excited to get into that football culture.
What team are you going to follow?
Yeah, well, I haven't decided. I was thinking about the Cowboys, but I had one of my
Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I know after that last one, but my one of my cousins, he's a diehard Phillies fan, like an Eagles fan, and he told me if I go for the Cowboys, he would just. So yeah. So no, I'll see how it goes after this season. Perfect. Thank you guys.